What's up, y'all? It's your girl Felicia. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. And guess what we're doing? We are getting ready for the great lock-in of 2025. Only are we getting ready for it, we are dead set in the middle of it. Okay, today is the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, depends on what day you see this video. It's definitely within the first week of September, right? So what is the great lock-in of 2025? In case you've missed it, all the girlies right now are on it. And I do mean all of them. And if you haven't seen any of the videos, you got to check them out because you've got this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And now you got this one. So what is the great lock-in of 2025? Well, the great lock-in of 2025 really just describes the last 4 months of this year. We're already in September, so we've got September, October, November, and December to set the tone, for what this new year looks like. We're not waiting for the new year to hit. We're not waiting for the clock to strike 12. We're not waiting for the champagne bottles to pop and all of that before we start our transformation. We are about to change our entire lives in 120 days. And depending on when you see this video, it might be a little less than 120 days, but you get it, right? So let's get ready to lock in. So we've got a few points today in order to make your lock-in for 2025 successful. So this is just what I'm doing. Feel free to steal this process, but either way, make sure you formulate a plan that works for you. And one of the biggest things is momentum. Why is the winter arc or the great lock-in of 2025, why is it even a thing in the first place? Well, momentum is what you need to carry you into the new year. If you wait till 2026, if you wait for January 1, if you wait for the clock to strike 12, you're already behind the 8 ball. Why? Because you need momentum and energy to carry you into the new year. So the great lock-in of 2025 allows you to put yourself in a position where you have the strength, you've got the energy, you've got the plan, you've got the momentum to carry you into the new year. Don't let procrastination, which by the way, is the biggest crab in the barrel, all right? Don't let procrastination drag you back into that humdrum routine where you just, you know what, I'm just gonna scratch the rest of the year and I'm gonna wait for the new year in order to get started. No, if you wait until 2026, you're already behind. You're already behind. So let's talk about point number 2, the power of systems over vibes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a vibe girly. I love vibes. I love a good energy set. I love a good energy reset. But let's be honest, motivation wanes. You need systems in order to have sustainability. So what we're doing during this next 4 months, 3.5 months, whenever it is that you see this video, all right? Because you might not, we're not claiming that. You're probably going to see this video within the next few hours of me posting it. Either way, we're going to make sure in these last few months, of the year that we are putting systems in place that are going to allow us to propel into the new year successful, wealthy, and wise. We are entering into our prosperity season. We are entering into our abundance season. We are entering into a season where we are not taking any shorts. And sure, it sounds amazing. It sounds motivating. It sounds like, girl, yes, I'm ready to get up and I'm ready to go. However, sometimes that motivation, it tends to simmer down. It tends to wane. It tends to dissipate. So instead of relying on just motivation alone, instead of relying on your inner cheerleader, which again, I'm all for being your own personal cheerleader. I'm all for always having a positive outlook. I'm always for having some sort of motivation in your mind, on your journal, coming out of your mouth, in your actions. I'm all for the motivational vibe, right? However, going into 2026, it's about sustainability. Baby, it's about sustainability. So, in order to reach that sustainability that we want, in order to get that abundance that we're looking for, that we need, that we've got to have in 2026, because again, we're not taking any shorts. We're walking into our best season ever, and we're walking into that season with systems. What do those systems look like though for you? It it depends on what you have going on. You've got to sit down and decide, what does this work-life balance look like for me? What does this hybrid content creator slash still working a 9 to 5 slash business owner slash whatever, what does it look like? What does this multi-hyphenate life look like for me? Does it mean that I'm getting up 30 minutes earlier in the morning? Does it mean I'm going to bed 30 minutes earlier in the evening? Does it mean that I'm reverse engineering my day so that I can fit in everything that I need to fit in? Does it mean that I'm eliminating some things so that I can put some other things in place? Am I learning how to edit better? Am I learning how to film better? Am I getting more into B-roll and what have you? That may not necessarily be your examples. Your examples may look totally different, but you know what you have going on, and you know what kind of systems you need to put in place in order to make your work-life balance more efficient. So again, we're reaching for systems over vibes. We're achieving sustainability. And in order to achieve that sustainability, we've got to have the systems to undergird it. All right? That was point number 2. Point number 3, clarity before the crowd. Listen, again, I'm all for making a vision board. As a matter of fact, I'm going to work on one this weekend. However, most of the time people are doing their vision boards in December. They're doing them in January. If you go on and put your plans in place now, if you begin journaling now, if you begin writing down the vision and making it plain, whether it's cutting out pictures, putting up a big poster board in your bedroom, sitting a mini vision board on your desk in your office, which by the way, I'm going to create and show you guys when I finish it. All of those things should be done right now during this winter arc, so that when everybody else is still planning, you are purposefully walking into your new year. You're not scrambling to get started. You already have your plan in place. So again, we are making sure that we are putting clarity over the crowd. We're not waiting until January to start planning. We're using this winter arc to do our planning right now. That was point number 3. Point number 4, we're going to use our spiritual discipline as fuel. We are not just locking in physically when it comes to, making sure we're journaling every day, making sure that we're vision boarding, making sure that we're putting our routine in place. What we're also doing is we are making sure that we're in alignment. The things that no longer serve our walk have to be eliminated. Now, this is probably going to be one of the toughest parts of the great lock-in of 2025, because we love to hold on to things, right? We love a great project. We love to hold on to things. We love to hoard the past. But we're no longer doing that. We're letting go of the things that don't serve us anymore, and we're walking into our newness, making sure that we have that spiritual alignment. If it's something that rattles your soul, if it's something that disturbs your spirit, if it's something that just does not give you that warm and fuzzy at this age and at this stage, baby, it's got to go. It's got to go. So we're using our spiritual alignment as fuel when it comes to putting together a system for this lock-in of 2025. This winter arc is all about alignment and getting ready for the new year. And we're not waiting for January to say, I'm no longer doing this, I'm no longer doing that, I'm no longer hanging here, I'm no longer doing this with this person. We're not waiting until that time comes. And I think that's the overarching theme of the Great Lock-In, is that we are not waiting, but we also have to make sure that we've got all of our points in place on what we're not waiting on. And spiritual alignment is one of the most important ones, because guess what? Your energy controls the room. Your vibe controls the room. So having total spiritual alignment is going to be a must when you get ready to walk into your next of 2026. So that point number 4 was making sure that we're using our spiritual alignment as fuel. Point number 5 is making sure that we have the emotional and mental resilience to not only get through the winter arc, but to have the energy that we need to move in to our next season, to move into this next year of total abundance, which is 2026. Think about it. During the wintertime, during the fall, the days get shorter, it's colder, we would rather be somewhere just under a blanket and maybe not doing much and not going many places or what have you, whatever the case may be. Either way, being prepared for what the winter season brings, think about it. Again, it's colder during the winter. The days are shorter. You feel like you've got more to do. The holidays are coming up. You're tempted by the hustle and bustle. All of that affects your mental and emotional state. So we've got to make sure that we do things that keep us in emotional and mental alignment so that we can get through the winter arc and prepare ourselves for what January is going to bring. So now that might mean reducing the caffeine. It might mean working out a little bit more. It might mean, making sure you're getting your restorative rest. It might mean reducing your screen time. It might mean not really talking on the phone before you go to bed or when you first get up in the morning, making sure that you're in deep meditation and prayer before you start your day, starting your day with gratitude. Some of those things may help when it comes to your emotional and mental resilience during this winter arc. But not only that, you're training yourself. You're training yourself to be mentally and emotionally strong so that when the clock does strike 12, you're in position for greatness. That's point number 5, making sure that we have emotional and mental resilience during this winter arc. Point number 6. This winter arc, the great lock-in of 2025, is about physical reset. It's about, in some cases, for some people, it's about pumping the brakes and making sure that you assess everything that you have going on. This is where you look at your eating habits. This is where you look at your spending habits. This is where you look at your comings and your goings. This is where you look at, how am I handling work versus family versus friends versus, church life? How do they all connect together? How do I implement a physical reset so that my life is more cohesive? That's what we're striving for, a more inclusive and cohesive lifestyle. So having a total physical reset is of the utmost importance. And so that is point number 6 that we are going to make sure that we attend to during this winter arc. What better time to assess and reset than during the winter? Because again, we're not going as many places. It's a little colder out. We're staying inside. We're wrapped up in a blanket. So why not wrap up in that blanket, get a good book, read how to balance out some of the things that we have going on in our lives. I've got some books that I'm going to refer. I don't have any today, but I'll do that in another video. So you've got those books, you've got your journal, you've got all of the things that you need to really sit down and start making that list, checking it twice, and making sure that you keep the things that are going to level up your life, but the things that are not so much when it comes to helping you grow, you're getting rid of those, okay? So that's point number 6, making sure that we invest in a physical reset during this winter arc, all right? Number 7, which is the biggest, most important, overarching theme of this entire lock-in of 2025. The overarching theme of this whole winter arc and why it's important is because when the clock strikes 12, you want to walk into that new year a better version of yourself. That's what it's all about. It's all about walking into 2026, that new year. It's about walking in a better version of who you are today. And starting today is going to help ensure that that happens. You can't say when 2026 gets here, I'm going to be the best, the biggest, the bravest, the boldest version of myself ever if you don't get started. You know, Les Brown would always say, you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started in order to be great. That's what the winter arc is all about. That's what the great lock-in of 2025 is all about. It's about getting started. And if you want to be the biggest, the brightest, the boldest, the best version of yourself, you've got to get started. All right? So that is the biggest point of the entire, if you don't get anything else, out of this video and all the other ones that are out there right now about the great lock-in of 2025, making sure that you get started, even getting started before you're ready. Getting started is going to be of the utmost importance. All right? That's point number 7, 8. Point number 7. That is point number 7. Making sure that you're getting started because you want to be the best version of yourself. So let's sum it all up, family. All right. The great lock-in of 2025, this winter arc, it is not a waiting room. It's a working room. You're going into your war room. You're getting ready to declare war on everything that has held you back in the past. Again, you are taking no shorts. You are making sure you figure out that work-life balance. You are making sure that you are doing your physical reset. You are making sure that you are spiritually aligned with the things that you want to include in your life going into this new year. You are making sure you're getting rid of the things that no longer serve you. Again, the winter arc, the lock-in of 2025, it is not a waiting room. We are getting started right now. We are in the working room. We are in the war room right now. So I'm excited about the future. I know you are too. Let's get it popping. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you subscribe on your way out. Join the family. I love you guys, and I cannot wait to see what the results of the great lock-in of 2025, this winter arc. I cannot wait to see the results that everybody is going to yield after they get busy. Until the next video.